This might look slow and boring, but it can be plenty of fun. What's up guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mario, and in this video I will explain to you how you can learn the very basics of windsurfing. The approach in this video is going to be a little bit different to what you usually see here on YouTube, because we will look a little bit less on the theory and more on the practical, actually really fun side of windsurfing. Because from my experience, every windsurfer that I've ever met in my life learned windsurfing the easy way, somehow fun and not with tons of theory and paying attention to millions of details. I think that's usually what keeps people away from windsurfing, because when you get started with all the technicalities, you can go really deep. And guys, I'm not alone. After we looked at the windsurf basics, my girlfriend Anna,
hello,
and I will do a little adventure and go over the lake.
And I'm a completely beginner, so when I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
And if you're here to learn how to get planing, then you can check out the tutorial that's linked in the video description. And of course, guys, if you're new to this YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe. I'm uploading new windsurf content basically every single week since many years. Also lots of windsurf video blogs, so it's not just these tutorials to learn from. Unfortunately, guys, it's not yet time to get on the water for our little adventure. And there are actually a few things concerning your safety that I want to tell you, because especially in the very beginning, you might not be fully aware that, of course, things can go very wrong when you go to a lake. And of course, when you go to the open sea, especially when you're at the open sea. Rule number one is to be aware of your surroundings. So you need to know if there is a crazy current going on. For example, also tide when you're at the open sea. You need to know what direction the wind is coming from. You can't just go on the water and find that out there, because if the wind, for example, is blowing offshore, meaning away from the land, then that can turn out to be really dangerous if you don't know how to get upwind. And guys, that last rule is a bit complicated, but it matches perfectly with safety rule number 2, and that is do not go windsurfing alone, especially when you are a total beginner. And the good thing that comes along with that is you can ask the locals or the windsurf school how the conditions are, how is the current, how is the wind, stuff like that. And once you get talking to these other peoples, everything else will also become easier, because you will maybe make friends. But if you're alone, guys, take care for the conditions. Rule number 2 is for some people hard to do. If you are windsurfing alone, take a phone. There are waterproof cases. Just take the phone with you, put it in your wetsuit. Please, guys, when you're a complete beginner, don't do that alone. If you have somebody at the beach watching you, a friend or something, that's already really helpful. And now, guys, comes the last rule. This is basically the international SOS sign. So if you get in trouble out there, which can happen, you know, it does not need to be that you have an injury or something. That is very rare. But you have pieces in your equipment, for example, the mast base or the mast itself or the boom, stuff like that can simply break. And what you want to do in that case is, first of all, stay calm. Absolute worst cases, of course, you get rid of your sail and you paddle back on your board. Never let go of your board, important rule. But this right here is the international SOS sign. So you do this on your board and you just pray that somebody sees it. But if somebody sees it, they're gonna know you're in trouble. And yeah, you will now get a quick overview about your gear. So for the total beginners, this is a windsurf board. In this case, we have a real, yeah, you could say school windsurf beginner board. Its main characteristic is this center fin. You can use that one out there to, yeah, have a easier time holding your course. You have the usual fin. All windsurf fins come in the back of your board. You have here a little box. You just screw it in there, and that's what's making it possible for you guys to use the energy of your sail to propel forward. Because if you would not have your fin, you would just drift sideways. Then what you can see right here, that's the connection between the board and our rig. That's the mast base. Mast base usually really easy to use as a windsurf beginner. You put it, yeah, in the middle of this slot right here, and always take care that it's tight enough that it doesn't loosen on the water, because if you're a beginner, you might get in trouble if that happens. And then what is laying right here is your rig. What is a rig? A rig is the combination of all the components that we see right here, meaning this is the boom. That is what you grip on while you're sailing. I'm now gonna, quickly lift the sail and show that to you. So when you're sailing, you hold on to the boom. You can close the sail like this, and like this you gain power and you propel forward. This is the mast. This is what allows your sail to stand straight like that. This is your sail. I think that's very easy to understand. And you have your sail battens, but that's nothing to worry about for you guys if you're just starting out. And then you have the last piece, that's the uphaul rope. And once you're a little more advanced, you're going to attach your harness lines onto the boom too. How to use all this equipment is mostly self-explaining. Always try and use the measurements that are given on the sails. And if you're a total beginner and you want to buy your own first set of equipment, that can actually be a little bit intimidating and tricky. And if you need help with that, you can hit us up at our own online surf shop. It's called the Wind Lounge. It's linked also down in the video description. We are focused on customer advisory, of course, also a lot on helping beginners. So yeah, just hit us up, write us an email. We are shipping worldwide, so no matter where you are, we got your back. Okay guys, we are now almost going to the water, and the next step is to carry your equipment down to the beach. Most important is that you carry your board down to the water first, because at the water you usually have more wind than at the place where you're rigging. So your board can't fly away that easily. So I would say let's carry down the board. Never hold the board between you and the wind. So if the wind is coming from there, you can carry your board like this or like this, but not like this, because when a gust comes and it catches your board, you might fall over. And with freeride boards and so on, they're a lot lighter than the school boards, and you can carry them at the foot straps and so on, so that's much easier. And the second thing is, when you put your board down, you want the nose to point towards the direction of the wind. So today we have onshore wind, that's why I put my board like this. So the most important thing is that you always move around your rig through the mast. You always want to hold that mast, because the rest of the rig is then gonna, fall off basically like a flag, and it's gonna lose lots of its weight. Let your mast face the wind at 90 degrees, meaning, for example, now today we have the wind coming from exactly this direction, and if we would carry the sail down to the beach like this, that would be totally fine. If you're more advanced, of course, you can take the sail onto your head, and you can also go at 45 degrees if you're a little more advanced and you have some more control. Once you are at the water, guys, you want to connect your sail and your board, and you want to do that, of course, so your equipment is not flying away. Now the fin is facing up. Now the board is facing 90 degrees into the wind. The sail falls nicely away from the wind. So if now a big strong gust would come, all the equipment would stay at the beach. So guys, we're gonna do a little voiceover now before I go out together with Anna. And you can see me here going out on the beginner's equipment, and the main message that I want to give you guys is that it's yeah, nothing all too complicated, you know. You can simply head out there, take the sail, take the board, and go forward. After a few times trying that, you know, you will not have any problem with that. And you know, then there are a few maneuvers. This, for example, is a jibe. A jibe simply means you turn the sail around, you turn around entirely, and you move the sail over the front of the board. That's basically the core essence of a jibe. Then you see me going in a straight line. That's, you know, something that you will learn yourself. I know you can get into technicalities here, but I don't think that's like super important. Yeah, but the further you accelerate, the further you go to the back of your board. But in the beginning, you stand relatively, in the middle. What you see me doing right now, this is the safety position. This is something really cool and important to know. If you hold your sail, in the middle at the mast, basically, you take out the power and you stop going forward. And from here, you can basically also decide if you want to do a jibe, like I'm doing right now, or if you want to do a tack. Tack is the opposite of a jibe, so you move the sail the other way around. This was a jibe now. And so this safety position is always nice to come back when you're a beginner to reset yourself. Then you can see me doing a little tack. Also not so complicated. Of course, later when you want to do professional tacks, that's a different story. Here this is an uphole start. This is what you will do a lot as a beginner. The only thing to take care for is to keep a straight back. Yeah, here again, the safety position. And when you have a flat lake like I'm having, you know, it's really easy. You can do it one-handed. As a beginner, you will have an even smaller sail like I'm having right now. And from there, you know, you can simply accelerate. Here, another little jibe. And as I told you, the main message right here is just to enjoy the journey a little bit and to play around. And now you can see me trying to show you how to accelerate. So you grip the back of your boom, you sheet in a little bit, you will feel the power. And you open your hip a little bit to the front. You can step back a tiny little bit, and this is how you go forward. Now I go upwind. This is really important. You go upwind by turning the sail in a way that the boom gets closer to the back of your board. This way you get upwind. You will have to experiment a little bit with that, but it's not so complicated. Now going downwind, not so important for a beginner, but good to know when you want to accelerate. And for that you move the boom and the sail forward, basically extend your forearm. And now I go into a jibe again. And all these maneuvers, all these small things, you will learn them very, very easily. It might look tricky, but that's the easiest part of windsurfing. This is also why windsurfing is so special, because I don't think there are a lot of wind-propelled water sports where the first steps are so easy as with windsurfing. It really doesn't get much easier. Windsurfing only becomes hard or harder, let's say it like this, later on when you want to get planing. Here, simple, start with the uphole, and I'm accelerating again. As I said, to accelerate, move the rig a little bit forward and sheet in a little bit with your backhand. Like this, you accelerate. Here, a little tack, you just move around the front of your board. When I do this, I do it a little bit faster, of course. And here, I want to do a cool little move. An absolute fail, of course. I injured my big toe. It's now bleeding. And I'm surprised myself of how stupid I am. Back on the beach, I hope you learned a little bit, and I hope you learned a little bit too.
I will give my best at the water.
We make a little trip to the other side of the lake.
Okay, interesting idea.
Are you excited or scared?
I'm scared. My last experience wasn't that good.
All right, so I would say the goal is that you go out and you manage to not drift too much downwind. So you stay upwind. That's the main challenge, really. And then we're good to go.
What is downwind and what is upwind?
Okay, I see you listened very well to your boyfriend. Upwind is towards the direction where the wind comes from. And downwind is with the wind.
Okay.
So if you now go downwind, you go all the way down the beach.
Yeah.
And if you go upwind, you go out on the lake. And guys, if you enjoyed the tutorial, then
please leave a thumbs up.
Yes.
And subscribe to this channel.
You got it. Let's go. Oh my God.
I mean, it's actually an adventure.
Yeah.
Not in the way we thought it would be, but
Oh, this is so frustrating. But this, guys, you can straight up write this in your notebook. This is 50% of windsurfing. You want to do something nice, you get no wind.
so my last windsurf experience was quite dangerous because I think I got too small equipment, right? Yeah, we drifted away for like, I don't know, 2 kilometers, 1 kilometer on the ocean.
And then there were ocean, and then the Mediterranean Sea. And then there were ferries and boats coming.
Pure windsurf equipment.
Yeah, it was my equipment.
And you sailed my equipment back.
Yeah, the equipment was horribly trimmed.
Yes, and you...
I could barely make it back too.
Yes.
So for you guys out there, a little lesson. When you see glassy water like right here, obviously it's completely wind still. But a little bit further to the outside there, you can see some darker water patches. And once the water, gets a little tiny bit choppy, it usually looks darker, and that means there's wind coming. So I can now anticipate a little gust in front of us. And maybe that gust will help us to make it all the way over this lake. I'm now gonna try and give Anna the command. Okay, so now we are turning into the wind. To avoid that, we put the sail a little bit further to the front. Pull a little bit here, straighten the forearm. Exactly, you see how it's turning?
Yeah.
Further, we need to feel the wind a little bit. Now you're almost sailing alone. Now if I let go, it's gonna pull. Put that hand a little bit further to here. The further you put your hands to the front, the less power you will have. I will now let go. I'm just gonna keep standing here. Perfect. Ah! Pull. Pull. Yeah. Stand up. Try to keep standing straight. Okay guys, this is a very interesting way of teaching windsurfing. I'm now standing here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's going good. You're doing well. We're going perfect, and we got wind now. Now windsurfing is fun again.
Wow.
By the way, that's the story of me learning how to windsurf myself 10 years ago. Every third windsurf session I wanted to completely give up. I was so depressed because I never really knew how to go upwind. But you're doing perfectly fine.
But there's a boat coming.
Yeah, now we have a boat coming. Now a rule, another lesson. The boat has the right of way because your left hand is in front. Whenever your left hand is in front or closer to the mast, you have to give the others the way of right, but there's no problem right here. If it was closer, you would have to let go or something like this. Oh, we're accelerating. How do you feel?
Good.
You can try a few things now. You can try to go down, go downwind a little bit. Just do what you feel like you... Yeah, you're actually doing it. Pull the backhand a little bit. Yeah, you're doing it. I don't know why, and I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing the right thing.
Doesn't feel like it.
And now try to go upwind.
So like...
That means boom goes to the back of the board. Yeah, perfect. We're going upwind. Perfect. And when going upwind, what is always important is to not take it too far. You always want to feel a little bit of power in the sail, so we don't start drifting. Now we are drifting.
Okay.
Now you do the drifting thing again.
What do I have to do?
Yeah, it's a good question. You have to bring the sail forward, because now we want to go downwind again. Yeah. And now sheet in a little bit, pull a little bit with your backhand, because now we want to accelerate again. Try to stand upright. A little bit, at least. It's okay. We're going again. This might look slow and boring, but it can be plenty of fun. Let me tell you that it's in the beginning maybe a little bit more about exploring also the equipment, going to some places, learning things, and then later on it's about blasting around and going really fast, and later on you will go 10 times the speed that we are going right now. It's going to be a different kind of windsurfing, but even that early stage beginner windsurfing, it can be really fun if you go to some nice places, if you just sail around a little bit like we are now. It's basically like, yeah, like being a sailboat, just that you have everything under control and that it's much more smaller and much more convenient, and you can pretty much take your sailboat to any place like that. Doesn't sound so bad.
No. And of course, you have the beautiful nature around you. I think that's the most.
Yeah, you're quite living the
Plus
passenger princess life right now.
Yeah. Could be worse. Now it's just me on the water.
Oh, now we could do a crazy challenge. I take the helmet and you have to sail and then come back to me, or I drown.
Wow.
Just to add a little bit of pressure.
Ah.
So Anna is now gonna sail without me. It's a really bad idea. I know I can swim back to shore, but still, don't do this at home. Please come back, please. Luckily, she's not very fast. Anna, please. Okay, you have to do a jibe now. Just move the sail over the front. Or if you move it over the back of the board, it's a tack. Perfect. Perfect. Keep on going. Yep. Keep on going. Back foot a little bit further to the back. Yep. Ow. Close the sail a little bit. Yeah. Nice. Oh, you actually made it back. You can go past me. Just keep going. I swim a little bit. Try to go a little bit downwind. Move the sail towards the nose of the board. Exactly. Front arm long. Sheet in a little bit with your backhand. Perfect. Now open the sail. Backhand, opening. Perfect. Nice. Sail over the nose. Oh no. All right, guys. I think that's it for this tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed it. As we said, leave us a thumbs up if so. Subscribe to this YouTube channel to not miss any of the future videos. And to all those of you out there who want to learn windsurfing, who are interested in the sport, I can just encourage you, go to, maybe in the first place to a windsurf center, to a windsurf school, and do a little course. That's a really good starter. And if you want to learn it alone or with some friends, also perfectly fine. Then you might need to rent equipment or get your own gear. And as I said, if you need help with buying your first own windsurf equipment, hit us up at the Wind Lounge. It's linked down in the video description. And aside from that, I can just tell you, windsurfing is not for everyone. But when you are someone who enjoys water sports and who falls in love with this sport, I can tell you it doesn't get much better. Such an amazing feeling. Later, when you are flying over that water, there's nothing comparable to that. And for all the beginners, if you relax a little bit and you go to some nice places or easy beaches, you can have so much fun even without the strong wind. Final words are yours.
No. I'm not good at this. Yes, I think it was fun later on when we got a little bit away from the beach. And yes.
Ave Maria.